Guys, 2nd of July. Another month on us. This week's gonna be interesting since we have 4th of July on Thursday, and then you have Friday, which typically I think a lot of people are gonna want to try and take off, or they're just I can't say their hearts will be in their jobs for the most part. I'm hoping, my team, we're in it, just getting it done. It doesn't matter what day it is, these guys just stay at it. So I appreciate having a group like that. But I do have to say, industry-wide or just the economy as a whole, when you're talking about a weekend like this, it can be a little bit weird. So that's why I tell a lot of folks when it comes to that, don't expect a whole hell of a lot on a Friday that lands right after a holiday. People would love to have a 4-day weekend. So good chance there's gonna be light work being done for the most part. If you have a closing coming up, don't get too impatient with it. That's just the nature of things. We have not a lot happened at the beginning of the week as far as news, but it was enough to move some things. We had the ISM index came a little bit lighter than anticipated. Construction spending, that was a drop. Interestingly enough, I would have thought that doesn't usually have a ton of impact, but maybe that is what caused a lot of our impact. Today was just job openings, showing that where that's landing up a little bit higher from what the previous reading was, but also showed the previous reading was revised up as well. So very interesting how that's being shown. But we haven't, jobless claims coming up this week. So initial claims, continuing claims later on the week. That's probably have a move. That's gonna be tomorrow. We're gonna have non-farm payrolls, hourly earnings, unemployment rates. That's coming up later this week. So we could have a lot happening tomorrow and on Friday that could move the market. So let's show you where we're looking at right now and what that market's looking like. So I got to get my share screen to start operating the way it needs to. Okay, so here we go. All right, so this channel we've been watching, some people may not understand, but this channel I've been watching, this is where traders seem to stay within this kind of a downward push, the way the market's going. We had this other line that I established way back in here as what I believe was going to be a ceiling for us. And it seemed to want to break through it, but it pulled it right back down. Now look at this. Look, we are right back in the channel as predicted. So we had some really, our interest rates got pretty decent right in here. Not quite the lowest that we've seen this year. The lowest we've seen this year was back here in February. Also saw some pretty low stuff back in January. But we look like we might be trying to climb up and touch that level, but I didn't figure we would get there at all. So stayed right within that line here, that level, and we pushed below that level. Now we're back in the channel. And look, even though we went back in the channel, we went below moving averages. This is on the 5.5 coupon. Let me switch over to the 6.5, which is a lot of things are getting priced off of right now, especially if there's not any certain incentives. You want to know about those incentives, reach out to me. Now, we've also seen a lot of fall. I don't have the same channel drawn into this. There is definitely one in here that we could easily put together, but I can put it in here right now for the sake of just the conversation. But we do have support here, very strong support. We also have 200-day moving average below that as a support. So I think that we're going to be playing in this range. Probably have the 100-day moving average, as well as our 200-day, and the support is going to be where we're going to be bouncing unless we have some really, really, really significant news to push us one way or the other. But I really think this channel is going to be a challenge coming out of this, my personal opinion. I also think this particular level here on the 5.5 has now become more of a ceiling for us. I'm going to turn that red. That's going to something to bounce against. We may continue to erode. That's just my thinking. I can't be 100% certain because this market is definitely all over the place. But I believe that channel going downward for the long term is where we're heading until we have significant reason to go the other direction. Stock market crash, something like that. There's a lot of predictions that could happen. Will it? I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff happening. You start looking on what's going on all around the world. One thing that's not being discussed, and we mentioned it here previously, what's happening to the dollar as far as inflation and how it's going to react to other countries, not leaning on the petrodollar the way they have. So that's unfortunately not a lot to give you. I wished I could give you a lot more there, but that's the best I've got for the moment. We're going to watch and see how this week plays out. I'll be talking to you guys on Friday, and we'll see how everything worked with the jobs information that's coming out. I'm hoping we get out of the channel, but there's a chance we might stay in it. That's just my thought. We'll talk to you on Friday.